going on, guys? Man, having an amazing time. Season 2, episode 8. Want to talk to him about what we're going to discuss on the show today, Oak?
Yes, sir. Greetings. We're going to talk about the essence of sustainability, being in the moment, and the power of no more.
Yes, Lord. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Serendipity with Inky Johnson, across all podcast platforms, as well as YouTube. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Serendipity Podcast, Season 2, Episode 8. I'm Ink, man.
I'm Oak. What's happening, y'all? No, not what's happening, y'all. We are the champions. Bruh, we are the champions. Let me go and get to it right now.
Who are the champions?
The Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Braves, not Cobb County. The Atlanta
Talk
Braves.
about it. Yeah.
We the champions, man. I just had to just start out with that, man.
Right on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Just the excitement and all of what that means. It goes a lot deeper than just a ball and a bat and a glove, though.
Yes, sir.
You know, so
yes, sir.
As we continue this dialogue, we'll get into it.
Yeah, no doubt.
How you doing today, brother?
I'm all good, man. At least I think so. You know, I'm all good. No complaint. Nothing to complain about. You know, if it was, it wouldn't be no need to do it anyway.
Yes, sir.
How about you? How you feeling?
Man, I can't pull a pine for barking down, man. Just laying low in the weed, waiting for something to fall down.
Man, let's get into it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so,
sir.
you know, I got this card, Oak. I sent it out once to a dude, and he was like, man, I don't know about that, right? And it reads, this place where you are right now, God circled on a map for you.
Yes, sir.
This place where you are right now, God circled on a map for you. Talk to us, Oak.
First, surface level, everything that you go through is for a purpose, is intentional, is in order, the way it was predestined to be.
Right.
Right. And the way I look at it is destiny and choice.
Mm-hmm.
How do they merge? How do they marry? Right.
Destiny and choice.
Yeah. People believe everything is predestined.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
I'm good with that. Right. But I also believe, we're given the freedom, the gift of choice, free will.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you and I being here right now was preordained.
Right.
What I don't think is preordained is what you decide to do with it and what I decide to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So every moment you have the opportunity to manifest your God self.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, this is circled on the map for you, right? This moment where your feet are. Now, what do you decide to do with it? Mm-hmm. Do you help others? Do you inspire others? Do you heal others? Do you uplift others? Do you take care of yourself? Yes. Do you heal, work on the process of healing yourself? Meaning, do you provide something positive, something healthy, something beneficial for you and your surroundings? Or are you making the decision to be less than your best? It's your choice, right? Yeah. So at every moment, God gave us the gift of free choice to be and create and recreate who you want to be in that moment.
In that moment. Yes.
You ask me, hey, people ask, how you doing? Man, I'm excellent in this moment.
Yeah.
15 minutes from now, all hell could break loose. And I have to, recalibrate and get back to a place of civility and a place of peace. And as I say, get back to zero, locate my ego, right?
No doubt.
But every moment you're given the opportunity to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
So say that quote again.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes, sir.
This place where you are right now, God circled on a map for you.
I wonder how many right nows do we miss?
Yeah.
Because we're looking for the next now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Man, I can't wait to Friday. I can't wait to Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My birthday coming up. Cool. No pressure with that.
We're going to turn up.
Right, we're going to turn up for my birthday, right? But what about right now?
Right now.
In this moment. What is it that you're supposed to experience that's going to enhance you?
Yeah.
That's going to enhance your heart.
Right.
That's going to enhance your being.
Yeah.
Right. And so when we're in the promise of now, right, then we eliminate the possibility of, depression. We eliminate the possibility of being down.
Yeah.
If I can get into now it's hard. It's hard.
Oh, no question.
Like, and shout out to, we've all, have bouts and with depression and all forms of being less than our best, right? I'm just offering a prescription of, if we can get into the moment of now and understand God's greatness and God's gift and being gracious and having a spirit of gratitude, then in the moment of now, then we can combat those forces that press us to be less than our best.
Yeah. I firmly believe, like, when they say God has circled this moment on the map for you, I firmly believe when things show up, moments, situations, people that we didn't warrant, right, that we didn't bring about from self-infliction, whatever the case may be, if something is present in your life, if it's an unfortunate situation, fortunate situation, right, I look at it in terms of, if it showed up, I didn't warrant it, I didn't do it through self-infliction. If it shows up, I firmly believe it's there to teach me something, right? Now, what that is, I don't know yet. Like, I tell people all the time, like, when I get delayed on a flight, right, I used to be like, man, I can try to get one of these planes and get up out of here, right? But now I look at it from the space and place of, what am I being protected from, right? Just looking at it differently in terms of, this moment, God put me in it for a reason. God circled on the map for me. Now my job is, what's the lesson in it, right?
Sir.
What can I extract from it? How can I be better as a result of it? And so I'm picking up what you're putting down, man. I'm with you on that.
And I guess as we go forward, man, I don't want to, or I want to be careful that we don't speak so esoterically in the sense that, it's just out there in the ether, if you will, but just in some very real life situations, like, the flight getting delayed. Right. I'm stuck in traffic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't get out the house in time this morning, or, when the best laid plans go awry. What is it? Just having the mindset of automatically and practicing enough to automatically go to the thought process of, okay, what am I supposed to get out of this?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And that the answer to that becomes very real and very tangible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I don't want us to kind of, make it seem like we've kind of glossing over life.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's real. Right? Life is real, but yet there still is, and there still are ways in which we can combat situations and circumstances and experiences to make them work for the greater good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Let's get into it.
Well, you know where I'm going, man.
Yeah, talk to me, man. Let's go.
What, if anything,
yeah,
does it mean to you that the Atlanta Braves are World Series champions?
Yeah, you know
the Atlanta Braves baseball. Well, first off, hold on, no. First off, man, tell the folks. Let's not gloss over your history with baseball.
My history,
and then your
personally?
Personally, your history, with the game of baseball, and also now presently with Lil Ink. Yeah, like where does baseball stand, so we can put this in proper context?
Right. Yeah, baseball very important for a number of reasons. Played it my whole life, from a kid up until I was a senior in high school. Loved it. Grew up not too far from Turner Field. Yeah. Old Fulton County Stadium. First time I went to a game with my uncle. Cat hit a foul ball, ran for it. Cat pushed me down the steps at the stadium. we about got kicked out. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was about to be on.
It wasn't about. It
was on. It went down.
But man, love it. My son plays it. I feel like it's an incredible tool. But just for the city of Atlanta and the history, right? Of course, quite naturally, for those of us that grew up Southeast Atlanta, Hank Aaron is that dude.
Mr. Aaron.
That's that guy.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of other pieces from David Justice, Marquise Grissom, all these guys, Chipper Jones, Greg Maddox, John Smokes, John Rocker, Bobby Cox, like all the guys, man, that came through the city that we used to watch coming up. I love it, man. And so to see them win it this year, I think for the city it was a good thing, with not only what the world has went through over the past year and a half, coming up on 2 years, but quite naturally, when you in a city, you see some of the things that city goes through. And so for everything that the city has faced this year, I think it was good for the city of Atlanta to win it, man. But also just the history of the Braves and what it brought to us, present day, with what they went through. And so I could talk about them all day, man. So go ahead, get into it. What it means to you.
When you first said, we just talking about the game itself.
Right.
Atlanta, the Braves.
Yeah.
Being Georgia born, Georgia bred till I'm Georgia dead.
Yes, sir.
Anything A-Town, I'm all, 10 toes down on it.
Leave that.
You know what I'm saying? This red clay for real. Dale Murphy.
Yeah.
Claudell Washington.
Yeah.
Bob Horner. You know what I'm saying? Brett Butler. The great Pascual Perez. Man, gone somewhere. But anyway, even Ron Washington, even Dusty Baker. You know what I'm saying? Dusty was on the
Did the Braves draft him? Or he just played with him when Hank Aaron?
I don't know if they drafted him or not, but he was on the on-deck circle when Hank
hit
the home run.
Yeah.
To break Babe Ruth record, right? But the thing for me, and I told my family members in our group text, right? The Braves winning meant something a little different, right? Because baseball, for the men in my family, my elders, my ancestors who have gone on, my granddad, great-granddad, my other granddad, my dad, my uncles, right? Yeah. It wasn't basketball. It wasn't football. It was baseball. They played. You had the Negro Leagues. Josh Gibson was born like 10 miles from where I'm from, right? So baseball was huge, like for real. Yeah. And the Braves were their team. And so baseball, to me, symbolizes, it's one of the few things where black men stepped outside of being stoic and showed their emotions. Yeah. Right? Gotcha. So I always had an attachment to baseball because I could see the joy in their eyes when the Braves would win. Cats who having to get up and work from can't see to can't see. From sun up to sundown.
Can't see to can't see.
You can't see in the morning when they leave. You can't see at night when they come home.
Yes,
right.
Sir.
And for them to, on a Sunday, kind of a rest day after church and listen to the Braves, or, fortunate enough with the antenna could see the Braves and whatnot and how it made them feel.
No doubt.
Right? So I felt it for them.
It's real.
The series. And, everybody has their own personal connections. And so now I see, like, watching, the cats in Boston and New York, the Yankees, Red Sox, and they talk about, the family and their family lineage and whatnot, being fans. I can identify with that. Yeah. But I also can identify with these cats from, almost every day having the toils and trials and tribulations of the day from being a black male. Yeah. Right? And what society throwing at them, and just the joy, small amount of joy that they will have from listening or watching baseball, right? So for the Braves to win it, that's where my mind went. Yeah. And then secondly, having a little nephew, I call him nephew, he's really my cousin, but he's into baseball, like little Ink. They worked out together one time, and Tristan.
Tristan, the champ.
And for him, he had the opportunity to go to 2 World Series games, back to back, that Friday and Saturday, here. And so for him to go, that epitomizes, the legacy, the lineage of my past, and then watching him get the experience to go and watch the Braves win 2 games in the World Series, something he can pass down to his great-grandchildren.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
So
beautiful, man.
So this whole, this whole time, this whole season, in terms of the fall, in terms of baseball and whatnot, just what it means for me personally to our folks. But that's the sentiment across the South.
Yeah.
Atlanta, the Braves are the
That's
South
the
team.
squad, no doubt.
You got buses coming from Mississippi,
Yeah, man.
North Carolina, South Carolina.
Cats love them.
They, and then turn TBS, so everybody saw the Braves.
Yeah.
But it really, for those, I think about those brothers who, whose voices, whose experiences don't get to be seen and exemplified on the public scene, in the public arena.
Yeah. I got you.
Them just they were in heaven just smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was strong. It's like baseball is an interesting game, Oak. Like when you think about baseball, the correlation that I have to it, it's a lot of them that we can pull out in terms of life. But baseball is, like basketball, long season.
Yeah.
Long season, right? And you see cats go through their ups, their downs, their ebbs and their flows. And when I see cats, I can't help but to think, like you see a Freddie Freeman,
Man,
drafted at 17.
Yeah. Love Freddie
Big leagues at 20.
Love Freddie
starting
Freeman,
position
man.
at 21.
Yeah.
Still in the league, right? And
Pay Freddie, too.
every year.
Hold on. Double A, pay Freddie, man.
All right.
Don't pay Freddie, man. But anyway, go ahead.
Pay Freddie, MV free.
Yes.
Pay that man, right? But every year somebody has tried to take his position, right? And for him to produce year after year after year. And I always think in terms of what sustains a cat. What sustains their talent, their gifts, their abilities. Because cats making already over 100 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so once you get in the hundreds of millions, like the average cat gonna go lay in the satin sheets and be like, all right, I did it.
I made it.
My cigar, I'm cool.
Yeah.
And so when I see that, I think about that. And so I want to pose the question to you. What sustains you when it comes to goals, dreams, aspirations, when it comes to projects, whatever, education? Like what sustains Oak to operate at the optimal level or the press to operate at that level every single day? What sustains you?
Who you doing it for, bro? That's the first thing I said. It may not seem like I thought about that question, but as you were talking, that's just what was put on my spirit.
Yeah.
Who are you doing it for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Are you doing it for something outside of yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just doing it for yourself, your individual self can easily be satisfied.
Yeah.
Which means there's gonna come a time and period where you're good, you're straight, right?
Yep.
But when you're doing it for your mom, when you're doing it for your family, when you're doing it for your, the legacy, or you're doing it for the ones coming behind you, when you're doing it for your teammates, when you're doing it for your friend, like, and that answer must be different every time.
Yeah.
Because if I'm doing it for, let's say, my son, then I can get to a place, as you're saying, about $100 million, he's good. So now it becomes finite. But
Right.
who you're doing it for, and that the answer to who you're doing it for is always different, then the answer is infinite.
Mm-hmm.
So then who you're doing it for will carry you and sustain you day in and day out.
I got
Right?
you.
And then ultimately you're trying to uphold a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We go back to who you're being thankful and you're being gracious for having the opportunity.
Yeah.
See, the moment that you say I'm good, the moment that you say I'm good, is the moment that you lose the spirit of gratitude.
You done.
Because now it becomes all about you. Because
Done.
who's good? I'm good.
You done. You
Right?
done.
So you have to, even if you got to fabricate something in your mind to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or fabricate a reality.
Yeah.
As MJ would, he'd be like, what? he make up some stuff in his head that somebody said something to him or dissed him or whatever.
Said somebody's mama or something. Yeah.
That's cool. That's on the surface. But ultimately, what was the product? What was the end result? The end result was he showed appreciation for the sacrifices that his mom made, sacrifices for what his father made, sacrifices for that his sisters and brothers made for him to be in that situation, for his wife and his kids, at the time. So, whatever you got to make up in your head to keep going, ultimately, you're showing your appreciation for the people who helped you get to that place. And the moment that you say, I'm good,
done,
it's over with for you. Yes. Done. And most importantly, though, when you say I'm good, you're really saying to God, man, you're really being disrespectful in my opinion. You're like, I know you've done, God, all that you've done for me, and I appreciate it. But right now, you ain't got to do no more. You don't have to do anymore, right? I'm anything else that you do, I don't appreciate. Yeah. Because I'm not going after it. I'm not, giving it my same energy. So what keeps me going is always remembering, who am I doing this for? Yeah. I'm doing this to show gratitude to God. I'm doing this for all the folks who made sacrifices for me. I'm doing this to create a legacy and create a blueprint, if you will, for the ones coming after me. Something that they can see and use and propel them forward. Yeah. I got you. So, yeah, the minute that I that I decide that it's just about me. Yeah. Done. Then it's over with. Yeah. It's over with. What about you?
It's an interesting concept to me, because like you see people, man, in life that are so talented, skillful, brilliant, incredible. And it's almost as if when they get to a certain point, or they acquire certain things, or they make a certain amount of money, or they get a certain position, it's like they regress. Yeah. And you're like, man, what happened? Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? That quest to be better, that quest to constantly try to sustain, that quest to try to grow. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? And so I always think about it in terms of just with people on the journey to goals, dreams, and aspirations, because if it's predicated upon external factors, right? That's why I always say to cats, can you be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what you're doing? That's the main question I used to ask cats at Tennessee. You could be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what you're doing. Cat like, nah, I want the result. I'm like, cool, I'm with you. But if the result changes, does it change you? Right? If you don't get what you want from a situation, does it affect your character? If the result changes, what does that do to your commitment and your dedication? If the result changes, are you willing to sacrifice for what you said you wanted? Right? And so when I think about sustainability toward what we want in the quest to try to accomplish in life, I often think about that. That's why I pose that question.
Yeah. And to me, what comes to mind when you were talking about it is the backstory, right? What's the cat's backstory? Yeah. Meaning, like, you speak about yours all the time, but think about your backstory. Right. Your backstory is what fuels you.
No doubt.
Right? Yep. Your backstory is what keeps you going. Every day. The answer to the question is why you keep doing what you're doing, or there's no result that's going to keep you from doing what you're doing. Because you had the experiences growing up that no one else saw. You were out there in the morning running. You were waking up playing basketball. You were on Saturdays going back and forth working out with Pops. You know what I'm saying? All of those. You were asking Mom to stay a little extra, stay late. You know what I'm saying? So I can get in these extra drills. No doubt. That backstory. So the moment that you say, I'm good, you saying, Mom.
Dinner.
You saying, Pops. You saying the folks that sacrificed for you, I'm good on that. I don't appreciate that anymore.
Didn't mean nothing.
Doesn't mean nothing anymore now, in this moment.
Yeah.
In this moment. It meant something back then when I was trying to get what I wanted.
Yeah.
But once I got what I wanted, that
Talk,
don't mean
man.
nothing no more.
Talk, man. That's life. Talk, man. Take me to church, man.
Okay, I'm going to take it. Why did David beat Goliath? Right?
Yes.
As Malcolm Gladwell would say. Meaning, it's in the backstory.
Yeah.
What was David doing? David had to tend to the sheep.
Yes, sir.
At night.
Yep.
To keep the wolves from coming to get the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
He was just being obedient to his dad. All his other brothers were going off to war.
Mm-hmm.
So then when David got old enough to go, boom, he went, right?
Yeah.
They going to put him up against Goliath.
Yeah.
Put him on all this armor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
David
What'd he
didn't
say?
You got to take this off me, man.
So that don't feel right.
Because when I met them wolves in the middle of the night to protect the sheep, by doing what my dad had said do, by being obedient and submitting to my dad's word,
yes, sir.
Right, which is then ultimately submitting to God's word.
Yes, sir.
Then now I can take on Goliath, and guess what happened? Became the victor.
Right,
Right,
sir.
It's in the backstory.
Yeah.
So, David is victorious because of the backstory.
Question. Do you think David would have been victorious if he never had to be obedient and tend to the sheep?
You know the answer to that, Inky.
Yeah?
You already know the answer to that.
Yeah?
No. No. It's in the backstory. It's in your obedience. It's in that what made you you. Mm-hmm. It's what allows you to be victorious.
Yeah.
Not your greatness in this moment.
Yeah.
Your greatness in this moment is the product, right?
Yep.
Everything is product of process. The process is the backstory.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
The process is the backstory. That's where the attention lies. So you tell me about anybody. The first thing I meet you, I'm going to say, where you from?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to give me an indication. Now we're going to get into what's your backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So meeting and knowing you guys, right? Anytime I'm dealing with my students or people, I want to know where you're from. On Saturday, I'm coming to see how you're living every day.
Yeah.
That gives me the fuel and gives me the knowledge of who you are.
Yeah.
Right? And then how I can best assist you and best support you. So
I got you.
It's in the backstory.
It's in the backstory.
It's in the backstory, boss. The excellence, the mastery is in the backstory.
I was watching an interview. Oh, when we talk backstory, the reason I asked that question about tending to the sheep, because oftentimes, whatever that tending to the sheep is, like you just said, backstory, oftentimes we don't value tending to the sheep. We just want the result, right? And so when we see people in the world that are great at what they do, right, whatever that may be, education, basketball, football, whatever, entrepreneurship, oftentimes as young people, I say all the time, one of the greatest mistakes we make is thinking when we meet people is where they've always been. Right? And we see a result of greatness, excellence, brilliance, awesome. And young people want to emulate that, the end result. Right? And like you always say, man, these cats don't realize, man, these cats be working.
Yes.
Cats be putting in work, right? And so I'm watching some on MJ because I'm going to be honest, when I get ready to speak, like when I go somewhere to speak and give a presentation, before I go speak and I'm in a room, I put on MJ highlights. I put on Kobe highlights. I put on AI highlights. I put on Steve Atwater highlights.
Yes,
Brady, right? Like different cats that's executed at a high level for a long time. I put on their highlights. I listen to it, right? I'm going to give a presentation to a bank, insurance company, but I'm listening to MJ. I'm watching highlights. Get me in the zone, right? And as I'm listening, before I'm about to go on, I'm backstage in the green room listening, and they ask MJ about the championships, right? Like, man, you keep winning, this, that, and the third. Like, how do you keep it? How do you keep doing it? And MJ was like, to be honest, like, everyone gets a little bit harder, right? He was like, because it affects the bite.
Right.
It's like you don't have the same bite that you had when you won the first one as when you win the fifth one or the fourth one, whatever the case may be. Don't have the same bite, right? When they asked the cat Brady, what's the best ring? The next one.
Yeah.
Right? That's him saying, nah, I still got the bite. It might not be the same, but having respect for cats that figure out how to keep and sustain the bite to get the next one.
Yeah.
I know MJ, your guy, right? When you hear MJ talk about, man, the bite might not be the same, but he still figure out ways to conquer and succeed and accomplish. Like, what does that make you think about?
I mean, I take it the same way. I take MJ the same way you do, right? In terms of me, I always say, you know, I aspired to be the MJ of teaching mathematics. I aspired to be the MJ of being a leader or a school administrator, right?
And my bad too. I said MJ, Michael Jordan. You know, for those of us, I know y'all know MJ, but you know.
And then you know the other immortal MJ in terms of Michael Jackson. But we're speaking in the sports realm.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, even young people or people who are hearing this, they're like, maybe what's great or so special about him, right?
Right.
But it's that mindset. It's that mindset of being great every day, regardless of situation and circumstance.
Right.
Being able to find something to call upon that, that is going to allow you to manifest the best of yourself. Right. So for me, that is what MJ represents.
Yeah. Is that why people wear his shoes in different facets of life? Right? Because a lot of athletes come out with shoes, but a cat will be leading the choir in church and got on some Jordans.
Yeah.
Cat will stand there flat-footed and speak, preach, teach, and be rocking some Jordans.
I think it's beyond physical.
Yeah.
In that they can feel and sense greatness. And we're not talking about the man, the person.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm talking about that his basketball ability is the example, right? But we're talking about a sheer force of energy of what greatness is.
Yeah.
We just happen, because we have limited use of the English language and of just words themselves, we just say MJ or we say Michael Jordan, right? But it's really something greater and deeper than that.
Yeah.
He's just the face and the epitome of what greatness is. So if you're really studying it, it's sort of like what Kobe did. What makes Kobe wonderful and great and brilliant was he studied MJ to the point where he created his own, recreated his own self through the Mamba mentality, right?
Right.
Which was, I'm taking this force of energy and let me figure it out to the point where I can use it for self. That's what MJ it represents to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you go on to speak and knock folks across the head. Boom. You know, there's some cats who can go in the classroom and knock people across the head and teaching and whatever genre that you're in, entrepreneurs, whatever. It's still the same energy, force of energy that you want to take, that you want to tap into.
Yeah.
Right? That is what allows you, again, to keep going forward, to not get complacent.
Yeah.
So, not to get too deep and smoky about this stuff, right? When you become complacent is when you cut off that energy source from the universe, from God.
Yeah.
Right? I'm good. God, I got enough. I'm full. I'm fat. I'm straight. Right? Because what does that mean, though? When you're taking something in and not giving it out, and when you get full, that means you've gotten lazy.
Yeah, man.
Because what you're getting, you're supposed to give.
Something about that.
Right? So then you always got to be hungry.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Crawford Long Middle School.
I just saw that.
You know, we fortunately have just won 3 straight.
3 straight.
Atlanta City.
On grades over that. 3 straight. Shout out to Crawford Long Middle School football team.
Yeah, we just
3
won
straight.
3 straight championships at City of Atlanta, right? You can't get hungry. I mean, you can't get full.
Yeah.
So the more we get, when I say we, Coach Robert Printup, Brandon Simpson, the more we get, the more we give.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just about coaching the young 7th graders, 8th graders that we have now. It's about ensuring that when they're 9th graders, 10th graders, still walking with them, 12th graders, some on going to college, right? So the more that you get, the more that you give.
Yeah.
So the moment you feel like you've done enough, what you've done is you've gotten lazy.
Done.
You've stopped giving.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
man.
You've stopped the process.
Yeah.
The process stopped with you.
Mm-hmm.
The process of giving and getting and giving, right? So when you get complacent,
Yeah.
just go on and say to yourself, I'm good. If that's the truth you want to tell yourself. The moment you get complacent, you saying to God, I appreciate all that you've given me.
Yeah.
But you ain't got to give me no more.
Yeah. It's like catching a blessing and closing your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You caught the blessing, you close your hand, but you can't open it up to receive even more.
Right.
And most of the time in life, that's what we do. We get to a certain place, close that hand.
Boom.
Things go well, close that hand. It's cool, it's cute. You've gotten to a certain point, but you've limited yourself in order to be open to receive more blessings and more opportunities to accomplish and soar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blessing's supposed to flow through.
Yeah.
Not flow to.
Yeah. Blessings don't come to you, they flow through you.
Yes, exactly. Just like with kids.
Yeah.
Kids come through you, they don't come to you. Right.
That's good.
You just been given the assignment of preparing them to go out into the world and be a blessing to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So man, look, so I heard some oak that it piqued my interest, right? And it piqued my interest in such a way to where I was like, oh, okay. A cat said, man, this past year and a half with COVID, man, this thing been an inconvenience in my life. I said, welcome to the club. I said, but be careful how you speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
He said, why? I said, I'm not saying that you can't speak about it. You should. I said, but be careful of the words you use to describe your experience, because the words we often use to describe our experience usually becomes our experience.
Yep.
I said, I'm not saying that you can't complain or you can't say it's been an inconvenience, because it probably has, as I'm sure it has been for us all. I said, but be careful of the words that you choose, because the words we often choose usually dictate the perspective and the mind state that we have about certain things that we encounter. And so when we talk about words, with you and your background in education, how important are the words that we use when we engage in dialogue, when we explain certain things, or even speak about people, situations, circumstance, just the power of words?
The power of words. I was having a conversation the other night with my cousin. And, I won't go here real quick. I think somewhere in that book, the book the
good book
we read.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? And, just so that I always profess who and where I am with the Creator, so I don't care nothing about the rest of it. But the book that we read, there's John, I think it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's New Testament. And the first, I think in the first chapter, first verse or two, it says, in the beginning there was the Word.
Mm-hmm.
And the Word was God.
Yeah.
And the Word was with God.
Yeah.
So to me, what I think about is what you just asked, the Word.
Mm-hmm.
How powerful is the Word? If the Word is being connotated with God, then that must be all powerful.
Mm. Mm.
I'm just let that sit right there.
Mm.
I'm not a theologian or whatever that word is.
Theologian.
Preacher or none of that stuff. But what I do know is from a African traditional standpoint, we have this term we call the power of nomo. Okay. Which is the power of words. Yeah. Meaning you speak things into existence. Mm-hmm. Nothing happened until it was spoken. Mm. Right? Yeah. That's why John first verse starts out with. In the beginning it was the Word. And the Word was God. In the beginning it was the Word. Yeah. Right? So then you must start out with speaking it, writing it, saying it, thinking it. It's the Word. That's the manifestation. Now what you decide to manifest, again, that's one of the gifts God gave you. Yeah. You can manifest your destiny. Yeah. 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 Now, not in isolation and not alone, but it starts, I said in the beginning, it was the Word. But it also says, about work. Yeah. Right? So you got to work to manifest it, but that comes second or third.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But primarily it's the word.
Yeah.
Then secondarily and tertiary is your actions and all of that. But you got to first speak it.
Got to speak it.
Believe it.
Speak it. Believe it.
Right? So is it an inconvenience or is it an opportunity?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right?
Speak it.
You got to speak it.
Speak it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, when you say to a person, I love you, what you're really saying is, I'm affirming the God that's in you.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Not from a selfish or a self-centered standpoint. What you're saying is, I see God in you. That's what I love right there.
Namaste.
Yes.
The God in me, see the God in you.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Right. So it's the power of no more.
Yeah.
The power of no more. Being able, you speak things into existence.
Yeah.
You speak your reality.
It's good and bad.
Right.
Work both ways.
Yes.
Whether we see it that way or not.
Right.
Right.
The yin and yang, yes, it can be good, bad. Yeah. So you want to speak health. You want to speak health.
Look,
into your reality.
Something happened to me last week, Oak, and I'm trying to figure out how to interpret it, and maybe you can help and assist me with it.
I don't know nothing about all that.
So I spoke in a place last week, organization, and the organization, man, was great, beautiful, first class. Everything went well. Presentation went great. Standing ovation. Cool. Experience awesome. Afterwards, greeting the people. Awesome encounters. And a guy comes up and says, man, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. But I gotta be honest. I didn't expect that from you. All right? And he shook my hand and exited. And I looked at him, right?
As he's exiting?
Yeah, as he's exiting. I'm like, what did you expect? What did you expect? Based upon what? What was the perception? What was the perspective? What did you expect? Right?
Yeah.
I'm on the plane flying back home like, what did he expect? Right? Talk to my wife about it. What did he expect? I said, so let me bring it to the good doctor. Let me bring it to Mr. Miyagi.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I think that the answer to what he expected is obvious.
Yeah.
Right? The look.
Yeah.
The hair.
Yeah.
The vernacular. You know, the arena in terms of the backstory.
Yeah.
Athletics, whatever. Okay, cool. That's what he expected. Based off of, you know, the race and all of this, that, and the other. Yeah. Just you, male, black male, whatever. The question for me is, what does it matter? Right? In the sense of, that's one of those classic, it's a you issue in terms of it wasn't what he expected, or it's a him issue. It's a you issue in terms of how does that, if that shifts my perception of myself.
Right.
And how do I move forward in terms of putting forth this notion of who and what we are in terms of people who identify themselves like you.
Right.
Right. So he expected what he sees from a social media standpoint, from a media standpoint, from a TV, from a movie, whatever, that he happens to partake in. That's what he expected. So you're not that.
Right.
Cool. That's surface level.
Yep.
To me, that's surface level. Right. What's a little bit beyond the surface is, I wonder, will he now go back and reevaluate his expectations and why he expected what he expected.
Right.
Right? It's not so much of that you presented something that he didn't expect. The question is, now that you have been presented, you have been shown the light.
Yeah.
That there is some articulation, there's some brilliance, there's some wondrousness, some divinity in this presentation right here. How does he go back and reevaluate life for himself?
Right.
Right? Then that's cool. That's something we don't have control over. What we do have control over is now how do you move forward?
Yeah.
How do you go about shifting or not shifting the way in which you impact and present yourself and present who we are to people who may not know.
Yeah. It inspired me, man.
Exactly. That's why I was going to. Like, that's a one. Now you understand you have another platform, another wonderful opportunity to be divine for folks who may not be exposed to what divinity looks like in this form.
No doubt. Yeah. It inspired me, man. Like, I'm already like inspired when I walk into a room to present for a number of reasons. But, you know, when the comment was made, like, I peep game. I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll play a game with a cat in terms of reverse psychology just to check his temperature. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so it inspired me in such a way to where every time I go in a room to present, anyway, I feel as if I'm stewarding the opportunity for the brother that's coming behind me that looks like me. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I'm not there to stay. I'm just passing through. God bless me with the opportunity in this moment, do my best possible job. So when my brother come behind me and get the opportunity, he gets it, right? To expand, to elevate even more for the next cat that's coming behind him, to get it, to expand, to elevate even more. And so it inspired me. You know what I'm saying? To do it in such a way to where when my counterpart comes behind me, it's like, hey, man, I laid it out for you. Do what you do, right? And so I didn't take offense to it. Right. Because I don't know you. Exactly. Right? You can't offend me. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you, right? But it inspired me even more to press forward and onward.
Because it's the idea, it's the concept that we're really, toiling around with, not the person.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not personal.
Never personal. Right. Like Nino, always business. Yeah.
Or I like to say it's always spiritual.
Yeah.
It's always spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Because as I say all the time, everything is me and my contract with God, me and my conversation with God, you the benefactor. Yeah. You just happen to be the benefactor. Yeah. Right? That's why everything is a you issue. It comes off as the most, or could be the most callous statement, but for me, it's the most loving statement that I can give. Everything is a you issue. You have the opportunity every day to cultivate your relationship with God.
Yes.
That's a you issue.
It's a you issue. Yeah.
So as I've just been thinking about, just going back and reminiscing, I came across a couple proverbs that I wanted to shoot your way. Yeah. And just get your thought on them and just put them out there.
Yes, sir.
And proverbs have different topics or genres. This one is more along the line of wisdom, right? It's two. Someone, if I were to say, or a proverb, the proverb says, I don't care what nobody has to say the fool. I don't care what nobody has to say, says the fool. How does that hit you? What are we trying to say right here?
You've cutting off the faucet of learning. Like, I believe any and everybody can teach you something. Now, what that something is different for everybody. Right. But I firmly believe any and everybody can teach you something. And so the moment you say you don't care what nobody has to say, you cutting off the faucet of learning and evolving and growing. Because the person that you may think can't tell you nothing probably can teach you more about life than anybody.
Yeah.
And so just being open, man, like that's what comes to mind. Be open to lessons, to the universe, to God, to people, and how things can show up to teach you not only something about life, but something about yourself, right? Challenging, right? What we always talk about, always be willing to challenge and examine what you think you know to be true, right? And so the moment you say, I don't care what nobody got to say, says the fool, you cut off the faucet of learning, evolving, and growing.
Okay. I can pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
The foundation of wisdom is to transcend earthly experiences, not to wallow in it.
Elaborate on that. I want to hear your thought process on that.
The foundation of wisdom is to transcend earthly experience, not to wallow in it.
Talk to me.
Those things that we encounter, right? Whether they're joyous, whether they're hurtful, right? Wisdom, meaning being able to see beyond the obvious by heeding the words of the elders, right? Being able to tap into the people around you to allow you to see these earthly experiences for what they are.
Gotcha.
Right? To not take this situation personal that somebody may have went off on you, right? Or today just didn't go your way, right? You just had a bad day. To see that as, okay, what am I supposed to get from it? Just the nature of our dialogue, period, point blank, since the beginning, is that we are pressing to transcend these earthly experiences, as opposed to wallowing in it. Is not going my way, then I'm going to respond negatively, or I'm going to respond in an unhealthy way, which is going to cascade into other events and circumstances that are not going to be helpful and beneficial to me.
Yes.
Right? Wallow in those things that happen to me. It's akin to, the adage of 90% of 10% of what happens to me, 90% of how I respond to it, whatever, right? So you're taking these experiences that we have in an earthly form, in a human form, transcending them and being able to see what spiritual value they have for you.
Yes.
What emotional value they have for you. How am I able to take this situation that's presented to me and transcend it to a place of exalting myself, exalting others around me, right? Yeah, and not wallow in it and fall and succumb to it from a negative standpoint.
That's good.
So
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That's it, man. That's it.
I got you.
So as we close out, Ink, as I said,
sir.
I'm gonna give us an assignment.
Okay. What we got?
So for the next 14 days, from whoever hears this, we welcome that you join in on it, right?
Writing it down.
The challenge is 3 to write or type. 3 handwritten or 3 authentic notes of affirmation to your people, whoever your people are, your circle, that's family, that's friends, that's co-workers, whoever they may be. 3 notes a day to 3 different people, right? For 14 days straight. Be intentional about it. Think about it. Like, what is it? What's the gift of this person? What's the beauty of this person? How wonderful is this person, right?
Yes, sir.
And try not to be there when they receive it, meaning be intentional about just dropping it off.
Gotcha.
Right? And watch how, describe how, take note of how God begins to work in your life as a result of that.
It's good.
Look for the peace. Look for the tranquility. Look for the fulfillment that is going to bring you in it. Now, that just, I'm all the way out there on the limb on this now. on the for real. It's just something that came to me. Like, man, what if we just for 14 days straight, just let people know exactly what we think and how we feel about them.
Yes.
It can be 2 people, it can be 3 people, it can be 4 people. So we're not getting caught up in the 3. I just said 3 as throwing out the number, right?
Right.
But just be intentional about your folks.
Yeah.
Your circle of people. Right? Just uplifting them. Let's see how the spirit works.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm game. I got you.
Yeah. So
good people. Man, we greatly appreciate your time. Man, it's been an honor to serve you. Privilege, pleasure. And thank you so much, my good brother. As always, man.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but love, honor, and respect.
Now,
baby.
what you supposed to say? Well, you supposed to say something. You supposed to do this whole
Be sure.
the social media
For
stuff.
sure.
Man.
Like we say down here, for sure.
For sure.
Now, be sure to, man, like, comment, subscribe, and share, at your convenience. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Peace.
Peace.